Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on Gold Mythic Yumiko, A New Beginning. She was really delayed into as far as her coming into the game. They Scopely finally released her. I don't know what was with the delay, but nonetheless, here we are. And I put up a poll today asking you guys which character review you wanted to see me get out of the way. And the last time I looked, Yumiko was winning the poll. Because regardless, I'm gonna do both character reviews like I had mentioned, but you guys wanted to see me get this one done. Excuse me. You guys wanted to see me get this one done and out of the way. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but if you hear any kind of loud, distant noises, that's because, well, today is 4th of July. And people are shooting off fireworks at the moment. I can definitely hear them, but I don't know if you guys can. So yeah, I got special guest Coco joining me for this video because, you know, obviously most, if not all dogs and pets are scared of the loud fireworks. So she's in here with me. So again, if you hear her maybe moving around on the bed or the couch next to me, I should say, I apologize for that, but she got scared of the loud noises from the fireworks. But anyway, before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And feel free to leave a comment down below if you want to, and feel free to also share the video if you want to. If you do any of those 4 things, that would be much appreciated by me. And I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe and staying cool. I'm doing good, and I'm staying safe, and I'm staying cool. And enough of me babbling on. Let's get on with this character review so we can get it out of the way to see if she is worse than the OG Yumiko. I don't know, but let's find out. Here we go. Yumiko, A New Beginning, the Armory. Her trait is tough. Her role is a support toon. And her allegiance is a member of the Armory. Now let's take a look at her stats. Her attack stat is 11,217. Her defense is 38,325. And her HP is 43,933. Now let's take a look at her adrenaline rush. Target prep. The recharge rate is 66 AP. All teammates get elusive for 3 turns. All Armory Allegiance teammates get camouflage for 2 turns. This fighter heals 50% of their max HP for the rest of combat and recovers from trauma. Okay, so all teammates will get elusive for 3 turns. That's going to be really good, because what that's going to do is that's going to stop the enemies from being able to build up their adrenaline rushes on basic attacks for those 3 turns, which that's going to be, you know, that's going to be really good. So I like that. Then here's kind of the good thing and bad thing. All Armory Allegiance teammates get camouflage for 2 turns. The camouflage is not the bad part about it. It's the fact that the camouflage is being restricted only to Armory Allegiance teammates And right now, the only other Armory Allegiance tune in the game is Magna, A New Beginning, but I would imagine more Armory Allegiance teammates, or tunes rather, are going to be coming into the game, I would imagine. So right now that's kind of irrelevant, the camouflage, but later on that potentially has the potential to be really useful later on. But right now, not so much. Then she's gonna heal 50% of her max HP for the rest of combat and recovers from trauma. I really like the fact that she's recovering 50% of her max HP for the rest of combat. That's going to be really good. That's going to be really helpful. And the part of her recovering from trauma, I'm trying to see, are there any Pacific tunes that have trauma? You know, I know there's a certain Ezekiel character. He has trauma in, does he have trauma in his kit? Or, you know what, there is a weapon that has trauma. So if trauma gets applied to Yumiko, she's just going to recover it, which is, you know, that's going to be really nice. I'm not seeing anything too, anything too pretty bad, but like the camouflage part right now is going to be kind of useless until more Armory Allegiance tunes come out. But right now, that's kind of that's the only negative that I see, but the rest of it ain't too bad. But yeah, they definitely, I'll give my thoughts at the end, whether or not I think she should have been the War of Champions tune. Don't worry, you guys will hear my thoughts on that. So let's go ahead and take a look at her signature move, Striking Attention. The initial cooldown is turn 1. 1 turn for the cooldown. Number of uses unlimited. Taunt an enemy for 2 turns. Plus 1 taunt 1 target while on the defensive team. This fighter and 2 teammates recover from 3 negative status effects and get 100% defense for 2 turns. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I know this isn't about Morgan Unhinged. It makes sense why I'm bringing him up. Morgan Unhinged and Yumiko A New Beginning do something very similar in both of their signature moves. They taunt. However, I think Morgan Unhinged does it better. I mean, hers isn't bad, being able to taunt an enemy for 2 turns. While it's still not bad, plus 1 taunt on a target while on the defensive team, so you potentially could be taunting. Now, I don't know if that additional target is also for 2 turns or just like for 1 turn. I would imagine it's probably going to be for 2 turns, but I mean, that's still not bad. And then also, Yumiko and 2 other teammates will recover from 3 negative status effects and get 100% defense for 2 turns. I mean, nothing too bad, but nothing amazing. Nothing amazing so far as her being considered a War of Champions tune. I'm just saying that now. Maybe there's something else in her kit, but I don't know. I'll give my full thoughts on that, but I actually do like the Adrenaline Rush just a little bit better, but the signature move isn't too bad. Let's go ahead and go over her mythic abilities. Cunning. When attacking or being attacked, 30% less likely to trigger enemy weapon effects and walker effects. Focused backlat. You know, obviously, Cunning, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but see, I just wanted to skip on over it. Level up Cunning. It's, you know, you're going to get the most use out of a support tune, I should say. you're going to get the most use out of a support toon. It'll help. It definitely will be. You should be leveling up Cunning anyway, like as you should be with all of your support toons, of course, if you can. Focused Backlash. When an enemy receives the focus status effect, 100% chance they get 10,000 bleed and burn damage for 2 turns. Okay, so this one's kind of interesting. So, like, for example, Eva and Ghost, for example, she gets focused. So, if you have Eva and Ghost on your attack team, which for free to play, having Eva and Ghost on a future attack team it's gonna be possible now that they have put her in the latest event for the month of July. So that's great. But if you have Eva and Ghost on an attack team and you come up against Yumiko, Eva and Ghost is going to get 10,000 bleed and burn damage, which, depending on your setup, if you don't have any sort of revive, that's going to be a pretty bad thing for you. But if you have some sort of revive on your attack team, it won't be like a major deal, but it's something to think about, which Focused Backlash I think is pretty good. In that aspect of, like, who's gonna have focus. I know Negan, Awakened Negan, he gives out focus. That potentially could be, 2 or 3 toons that could have that burn and bleed damage, and especially Eva and Ghost. I know there's other toons that will give out focus, but I can't think of a majority of them, but I can definitely think of the Negan lead, the strong Negan lead, he gives out focus. And also Eva and Ghost, so that might be worth leveling up for sure to help deal with those attack teams. Group Healing. At the start of each turn, one teammate heals 50% of their max HP, and all Armory Allegiance teammates heal 15% of their max HP. Okay, so cool. You just got a bunch of healing going on, which, hey, I think I would go ahead and level it up just because why not have that little bit of annoyance? So, there you go. Even if you don't have Yumiko around a Armory Allegiance team mainly, it's going to help the whole team. As it stated, at the start of each turn, one teammate will heal half of their max HP, and then all Armory Allegiance teammates will heal 15% of their max HP. But you gotta remember, that's not just for one turn. That's for every single turn. So, I think I would level that one up, just because it's a very defensive thing to have, and if you don't somehow have a medic on that certain team, it'll be like she's kind of a medic as a side gig, if that makes sense. So not having a medic on that team and having group healing might not be such a detriment, because they'll be healing every single turn. So I think that's actually quite good. Special Person, 40% normalized resistance. Okay, so should I go ahead and talk about it now? I think I might go ahead and talk about it now. Me, personally, I don't think Yumiko, A New Beginning, should have been a War of Champions toon. From what I'm seeing so far, she could have been a promo toon. Yep. I truly believe that Shiva and Ezekiel should have been the War of Champions toon in her place. Absolutely. But Scopely being greedy, they didn't want to miss out on that money. But Yumiko being the War of Champions tune, I just don't... I'm not buying it. 40% resistance to normalize is... I mean, it's not too bad, but I believe... I'm pretty sure Shiva and Ezekiel give out... They have 100% normalized resistance. I'm almost pretty sure. And then Eris, she has 70% normalized resistance or 80% normalized resistance. So Yumiko is definitely on the lower end. She shouldn't have been the War of Champions tune. Now, I get Eris. She was a War of Champions tune, and she is very hard to access. You know, she's not that hard to obtain. I get that. With Yumiko, I don't get the same feeling. She could have easily been a promo tune. But Eris, okay, I get why she wasn't a promo tune, why she was a War of Champions tune. I don't get that same feeling with Yumiko personally. But, what do I know? I'm not, I'm not an official content creator in the eyes of Scopely, so... Nor do I want to be considered a content creator by them. I'm good doing what I'm doing now. I'm just fine. Normalized resistance, 40%. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to have, but, like, there are better. There's definitely better, for sure. So, I mean, I would level it up, I guess, but if you have Eris or Shiva and Ezekiel, you could probably get away with never leveling that one up on Yumiko. I'm just being honest. Because Shiva and Ezekiel is so much better. Absolutely. Let's take a look at Yumiko's weapon. Yumiko's robust bow. 40% defense, 40% HP. Improved confuse when hit. When being attacked, 60% chance to confuse the attacker for their next turn. Improved stonewall. This fighter gets 50% defense at the start of each wave for 2 turns. This fighter's defense cannot be reduced. Okay, so the 40% defense and 40% HP is pretty good. Now, I will say the third slot on her weapon, I actually think that's kind of unique, right? Improved confuse when hit. When being attacked, a 60% chance to confuse the attacker for their next turn. That's kind of like that weapon, well, the weapon slot, I should say, is very similar to the Valentine's Day axe with the improved, is it the improved impair? I know I use it on Morgan Unhinged, but the same weapon that I use for Morgan Unhinged, when he's attacked, the attacker's impaired, plus Morgan gets elusive. It's kind of like that, but except with impair, it's confused in this situation, and I quite like that. Not bad. Improved stonewall. You know, I forgot to do one thing. We will get to it, but let's finish the weapon. Improved stonewall. This fighter gets 50% defense at the start of each wave for 2 turns. This fighter's defense cannot be reduced. Okay, so like it says, at the start of each wave, she's going to get 50% defense for 2 turns, but, however, her defense cannot be reduced. That's really good for this type of tune, honestly. I'm not sure what else you would do with this weapon. I'm not sure what else you would change with the weapon. If you want to go more HP, you could do 50% HP, 45 defense, or if you want to go more defense, you could do 50 defense, 45 HP, or go all in on the defense with 55 defense or 55 HP. There's not really a whole lot you can do, I don't think, in my opinion, with her weapon. I think it's like good enough as it's going to get, in my opinion. You know, of course, before like possibly making the defense or HP 55 or 50, and then the other 45. So, the one thing I forgot to do, I don't know why I forgot to do it, but here we go. Let's look at her specialist skill, Resilient 2. This character has a 60% resistance against all status effects. This stacks with other resistances. This specialist skill is immune to the control roll passive. So, simply, she can resist a lot of things. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, we don't really have to talk about it all that much because Resilient 1 and Resilient 2, if you try to stun her, she's going to resist that. You try to confuse her, she's going to resist that. Any negative thing, she's going to resist. So there you go. There's not much more to talk about with Resilient. So there you go. I got the... I got the character review over with because I still have to do Silent Charlie. I still have to do Silent Charlie's character review. Plus, I'm going to go over the event in that same video. We'll see when I get that out. I don't know. We'll see, but it'll definitely be after this one for sure. Do I feel like getting it out in the same night? I don't know, because I mean that's gonna be a lot. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But honestly, do I think OG Yumiko is better than War of Champions Yumiko? I wish I could remember who said that, but I'm going to actually agree with that person that said that Yumiko, OG Yumiko, is better than War of Champions. I actually kind of agree, but not by a mile. No. OG Yumiko is not even that amazing, but she's slightly better than Yumiko A New Beginning, in my opinion. I actually agree with that person or those individuals that happen to say that. I actually agree. I do, going over her kit. But Yumiko A New Beginning isn't bad, but she isn't War of Champions worthy. Nah. She could have been a promo, without a doubt, but... Alright, I mean... What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Yumiko A New Beginning? Do you think she should have been a War of Champions tune? Or do you think she could have been a promo? Let me know what you think about her and whether or not she should have been a War of Champions tune. And let me know if you were in a War of Champions region. Are you going to go for Yumiko, or are you going to get some of the other stuff that's in the gray market? Like, for example, let's check it out. We have a mystery bag, the captain, some gear medals of the gold, silver, bronze, and steel variety. I don't know. I mean, them captains are definitely very much needed, for sure. And the mystery bag, okay, that's a part of the new gear. Heavy glove, combat pouch, knee guards, and then supply bag. Honestly, if you want to know my opinion, I think the mystery bag and the captain is definitely much more needed than Yumiko. The state of the game that we're in right now, the mystery bag and the captain is, I think, a top priority. Damn, I can't talk. I believe that the mystery bag and the captain trainers are definitely a top priority over a War of Champions tune. As crazy as that sounds, the current state of the game that RTS is in right now, the mystery bag and the captain is something I would pick over Yumiko personally, but I won't be able to because I was a peasant and I was in a peasant faction, and I don't mind being in a peasant faction during War of Champions. It's all good with me, but let me know what you guys think, if Yumiko is worth going for, or do you think she should have been a War of Champions tune? And if you have any other thoughts on RTS or Walking Dead in general, or anything else in general, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.